Breaking news. Israel has just launched a surprise attack on Iran. This happened about 8 hours ago, targeting multiple nuclear facilities. Explosions, sirens. The Middle East is boiling. And the question on everyone's lip right now is, are we watching the beginning of World War III?
آجی اینجا کجاست؟ زدن چه بد جایی هم است.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons. In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before, steps to weaponize this enriched uranium. And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival. 80 years ago, the Jewish people were the victims of a Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazi regime. Today, the Jewish state refuses to be a victim of a nuclear Holocaust perpetrated by the Iranian regime. Now, as Prime Minister, I've made it clear time and again, Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal. Tonight, Israel backs those words with action. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program. Last year, Iran fired 300 ballistic missiles at Israel. Each of these missiles carries a ton of explosives and threatens the lives of hundreds of people. Soon, those missiles could carry a nuclear payload, threatening the lives not of hundreds, but of millions. Iran is gearing up to produce 10,000 of those ballistic missiles within 3 years. Now just imagine 10,000 tons of TNT landing on a country the size of New Jersey. This is an intolerable threat. It too must be stopped. So too do the brave people of Iran, and I have a message for them. Our fight is not with you. Our fight is with the brutal dictatorship that has oppressed you for 46 years. I believe that the day of your liberation is near.
What just happened? Why now? And will Iran strike back? In the early hours of this morning, Israeli fighter jets reportedly carried out a coordinated airstrike on over a dozen suspected nuclear sites deep inside Iranian territory. While Israel has not officially confirmed the strike, satellite images, Iranian state media, and Western intelligence sources suggest that multiple underground facilities were severely damaged. Note, the Israeli Prime Minister has actually come out to make a statement on this. More on this in a little bit. Eyewitnesses described the night sky as a battlefield, fireballs, air raid sirens, and panic. Tehran has already confirmed significant damage and casualties. But what exactly did Israel hit and why? This is not just another regional flare-up. This strike comes after months of escalating tension over Iran's nuclear program. Israel's threat to act unilaterally and failed diplomatic talks may be traced to this. Just days ago, Iranian officials announced a breakthrough in uranium enrichment, reportedly nearing weapons grade levels. To Israel, that is a red line. They've said it before. They will not allow Iran to go nuclear. And today, they have proved it. World leaders are scrambling. The United Nations Security Council is calling for an emergency session. The US has yet to publicly endorse or condemn the strike, but insiders suggest Washington was not notified. Russia and China have blasted the attack as reckless aggression, while European leaders are urging de-escalation. Oil prices are already spiking. The global stock market is trembling, and Israel's Iron Dome is on high alert. Iran's Revolutionary Guard has vowed severe consequences. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei has said, and I quote, "Israel will pay dearly." Iran is known for asymmetric warfare. Think cyber attacks, Hezbollah, missile strikes from proxies across the region. So, the world now waits. Will Iran launch a full-scale retaliation? Will Israel respond again? And if either does, what happens to the fragile alliance or alliances and the simmering tensions across the globe? It is easy to throw around the phrase World War III, but today's strike checks all the dangerous boxes: nuclear stakes, superpower involvement, and religious tension. If Iran retaliates against Israel, or US, or even US interests, the entire region and possibly the world could be pulled into a catastrophic conflict.
Military heads and intelligence heads have been struck in this attack. So let's call it Central Command for the Iranian army has been attacked, including the Chief of Staff for the Iranian army. And this is big news. This is Israel targeting the heads of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, Israel targeting the heads of the Islamic regime that has been swearing to destroy the state of Israel for many, many years. And you can hear this in the statements made by the military spokesperson about an hour ago, where in a very, very clear way it said, look, this is a war we were forced into. It's been decades of this Islamic regime threatening and promising to destroy Israel. They've been pushing for a bomb nonstop. We've been waiting for this to happen, and now is the time to take action. It's been a very, very dramatic day here in Israel. I think anyone who is still in active duty, myself included, the army is on high alert. Many of the units are getting ready to be called back in, and the civilian population too is at a very, very high level of readiness. Myself, my family included, yours obviously too, Yair. It's been a very, very dramatic night, and I think this is just the beginning. And to remind everyone what we're looking at here, we're at the end of I want to say, decade-long battle, or actually longer than that, against the Iranians, trying to prevent them from reaching nuclear military capability. And people keep asking, why is it important to stop Iran? Why did Israel have to attack? Let me say it this way. Iran isn't just another country. It isn't the UK that has nuclear capabilities. It isn't the French. It isn't the US, and it isn't Israel, according to foreign press, which we are, I guess. This is a very, very different situation. Iran is a radical Islamic government, radical, that is sworn to destroy the people of Israel, and they've been pushing their economy, their ability, their people towards building a nuclear bomb or nuclear bombs to attack Israel. And they've made it very, very clear over many months of negotiations with the US and also through intermediaries, but before that, that they have no intention whatsoever of giving in to the demand to dismantle their nuclear program. And that's where we are today. We're at a place where they made it abundantly clear to everyone involved, the US and Israel included, that they're not going to give up on their nuclear program. And now that we know that, Israel had to strike. And what we know initially, to chime in with what Yael was saying just a second ago, is that many in command of the Iranian army and officials in the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, have been struck, including most likely the chief of staff for the Iranian army. And more importantly than that, there are bits of information saying that several nuclear facilities, including the one in Natanz, has been struck, which is something that, again, was coming down the pipeline. We knew this was coming. And the world is watching. As this is happening, people around the world have been watching. We're looking at changes in the stock market. We're looking at the fact that thousands of people are being called immediately back into reserves. It is a dramatic, dramatic day that we're living in. And one might even say a historic day to be watching this. This is a government that's 2,000 kilometers, over 1,000 miles away from Israel, that has sworn to destroy the state of Israel, to destroy the people of Israel and the way of life of both us and the West. And Israel had no choice but to preemptively strike and destroy this violent regime that has been sworn to attack us. Yair, how has the night been for you and your family? How are things on your end?
Well, Mati, we woke up this evening to multiple sirens, alarms, and also new sounds from our phones and smart devices that not encouraged us, but told us to go to bomb shelters and to prepare for a long stay, for something new that we haven't seen before. So first of all, the technology in Israel went up a notch. This is not just another missile from the Houthis in Yemen. This is a whole new level of threat. And at the moment, the country is waiting for the response from Iran towards the airstrikes that hit their nuclear facilities, their key personnel, and their military installations. And guys, for those of you that are just joining us now for this live update, I'm Yair Pinto and I'm here with Mati Shoshani. We are on TBN Israel YouTube channel. This is the channel that brings you live updates on a daily basis of what is happening from Israel. So guys, if this is your first time tuning in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and keep watching us, because we are here to let you know what's happening, boots on the ground style, from Israel, so that you'll know how to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Okay, this is an unprecedented moment that we are living in right now. Israel struck Iran. I'm talking about airplanes striking precise targets in the Islamic Republic of Iran related to Iran's Revolutionary Guards Corps, related to their nuclear military installations, relating to key leadership in Iran. And this is a country 2,000 kilometers away from Israel. The strikes were precise. We did not receive any updates or any information of any kind of casualties on the side of the Israeli Air Force in this attack. And at the moment, thousands of reserve soldiers were called into action with a mandatory order to go to their units, mainly in the anti-aerial defensive units of Israel, talking about the Arrow, the laser beam, the Iron Dome, the David Sling, and all the other aerial defensive systems that Israel has. And on top of that, also divisions from Judea and Samaria to come and protect the Israeli communities from any kind of possible Palestinian terror attack against the communities of the State of Israel. This is the situation now, and this is all started as of 3 a.m. here in Israel, and we are still waiting for the response from the Islamic Republic of Iran. At the moment, I have water ready in my bomb shelter, and lights and a radio. And this is the situation in Israel. We are prepared for a strike that will be longer than the 10-minute missile launches from Yemen.
Yeah, can you hear me? We have some breaking news here. Iranian sources are saying that there's a good chance that the head of the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, has been taken out in this strike. And I need to emphasize how important this actually is. If you think about the mechanism through which the Iranians export violence to the world, the IRGC is that tool. So we're looking at symbols of the Iranian government, the chief of staff, the head of the IRGC, that are, according to Iranian initial reports, they've been assassinated in this initial strike by Israel. And what's interesting is the choice of words. Israel is saying this is the first wave, first meaning there are more to come. The Iranians are reporting on high-level officials, and we've already seen images, and I think some of them are playing on your screen, of the level of devastation, and I want to say this, accurate targeting within Iran of officials that have been to the people of Israel. And that's really where we are today, at a very, very, very accurate pinpoint attack against targets within Iran. This is something that has been in the works for years. The Israeli government, and I think people around the world might forget this, Prime Minister Netanyahu has been, among many things, he has been a champion of pushing for an attack on Iran, pushing for a route that isn't just sanctions, because we knew the desire of the Iranian government to spread violence and to essentially get to a bomb ultimately. And today we're in that place. We're in a place where a preemptive attack was the choice that was left in the hands of Israel. And we've been calling on this channel, and I think many other people have for a long time, calling on governments to take action, because it was apparent, it was abundantly clear that Iran was pushing for a bomb. The latest reports that came out over the last couple of weeks from the IAEA, the International Agency of Atomic Energy, they indicate that Iran has the material to create between 10 and 15 nuclear bombs within weeks, as in they have the enriched uranium to reach that point, not necessarily the final package to do so. So we're on a clock. We're with a deadline where action against the Iranians was necessary, and that's what we're seeing tonight. Targeted attacks throughout Tehran against the heads of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, the chief of staff for the Iranian government, and others, chief scientists in the nuclear program. And according to multiple reports coming out of Iran, also targeted attacks against facilities related to the Iranian nuclear program. People in Israel are and have been for multiple hours now at a very high level of readiness. Thousands of soldiers have been called back into reserves, and the Israeli army is on high alert. I can't disclose much, but I can say myself, and I think everyone else with a active reserves unit has already been on the phone with their unit tonight, because Israel has been gearing up towards this attack for a very long time. And I think people might be asking at home what the sentiment is with Israel, or in Israel right now. And I need to tell you that people in Israel for weeks now have been waiting for this to happen, because we knew one way or another we must deal with the threat of the Iranian bomb. And it was just a question of when and will the US be involved in this. And the last couple of days have shown a very interesting chain of events in which both President Trump, Minister of Defense Hegseth, and several others in the US government very boldly, very strongly stood beside Israel, stated clearly, look, whatever you think is going to happen, Israel is going to have the right to attack. It's just a question of, will the Iranians, just before the buzzer, change their plans and give up their nuclear program? And in recent days, it became very clear, very publicly, that they had no intention of doing so. And that brings us to today. An ongoing attack of the Israeli Air Force across Iran, dozens of Israeli jets flying through the skies of Iran and bombing strategic and tactical targets, both targets of the nuclear program and otherwise heads of the Iranian government, specifically the IRGC and the Iranian government. The reports are saying that it's possible that many, many members of the Iranian government have been targeted in this attack. And this is a question that's been in our minds for a long time. Why not target the heads of the Iranian government? These are the people indoctrinating their people, shifting their entire budget, pushing their military to act against the state of Israel. And we're today at a place where we had no choice but to preemptively attack Iran.
Yes, yes, definitely, Mati. Yeah, I just heard that on top of the sophisticated Israeli aerial strikes that took place with the Israeli Air Force, the Israeli Mossad, which is the secretive intelligence agency of Israel, was also behind the scenes, on the ground in Iran, orchestrating targeted terminations of the leaders of Iran, specifically the leaders in charge of the rocket attack systems and infrastructure that can carry out attacks against Israel, and the anti-aircraft defensive systems of the Islamic Republic to enable freedom of aerial strikes to our planes, to our aerial capabilities, to basically neutralize the Iranian counter attack.